This week is Money Smart Week South Africa 2025, organised by the National Treasury. The aim is to empower South Africans with essential financial education. The National Credit Regulator, the NCR, is promoting responsible borrowing, budgeting and consumer protection mechanisms to enhance financial well-being. Well, joining me now is Jimmy Golele, Senior Education and Communication Officer at the NCR. Welcome to On Point. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers of On Point. My name is Jimmy Golele from the National Credit Regulator.
Now, what are some of the primary goals of Money Smart Week?
One of the primary goals of Money Smart Week is to take consumer financial education to the citizens of South Africa. It has come to the attention of the relevant authorities that while we may have many educated people in the Republic, we also have a lot of people who deal with issues of financial illiteracy, which affects the decisions that they make when it comes to money-related and credit-related decisions that they take.
What would you say are the top two things that consumers need to know about in relation to responsible borrowing?
The top two things that I think consumers should take into consideration when borrowing is to ensure that they borrow what they can afford to repay. A consumer has the right to apply for credit. However, they also have the right, they have the responsibility to make payments for that particular credit. The other critical thing that consumers need to take into consideration is to make sure that their decisions that they take are informed by economics and not necessarily emotions, because there's a lot of people that sometimes take decisions that are not based on economic decisions or economic reasons. However, they may be based on emotions or circumstances or situations that may be going through at a particular time.
It's definitely something that happens. People get emotional about things and make the wrong decisions. How can consumers access their credit score, and what does that include?
Consumers can access credit scores by contacting all the registered credit bureaus. And actually, I'm happy you asked that question because the National Credit Act makes provision for all consumers to access a free credit report from all the registered credit bureaus. So we encourage all viewers and all citizens of the Republic to ensure that once in a while they get in touch with the credit bureaus and they request for a copy of their free credit report. And it is critical that they do so that they can see what information is contained in their credit report. They can see if there is any wrong information which may be hampering their chances of getting credit or getting credit at the right interest rate if there may be wrong information that is contained in their credit report. So they should contact all registered credit bureaus. They can get details of credit bureaus on the internet. They can go to the website of the National Credit Regulator. They will be able to access the details of all registered credit bureaus, and that is where they can get their free credit report and they can see their credit scores. And I hope those that will see their credit reports and see that their credit scores are low will take efforts that will help them repair their credit scores and be at a position whereby they can get favorable interest rates when they apply for credit.
How should consumers manage their credit and avoid over-indebtedness?
To manage their credit well and avoid over-indebtedness, one, consumers should make sure they don't live above their means. Meaning, if you know you get a 10,000 salary, when you do your budget, which will form part of managing your credit, make sure that your budget doesn't exceed that amount that you get. If you do your budget and it exceeds that amount, you need to review your budget, cut back, and ensure that you are living within your means. That will ensure that you don't get over-indebted. And then also making a budget and sticking to it will help consumers ensure that they don't get over-indebted, because sometimes people get over indebted because they do make budgets, but when it comes to actually implementing, they implement a different budget to the one that they put on paper. For example, people will draw up a budget, but when they go to the malls or shopping centers, they find that there is a shop that's advertising a 75% discount on an item that is not on their budget. Some of the consumers will forget about the budget that they've already drawn, and then they will impulsively buy that item which is on sale. This tends to have an effect of leading to over-indebtedness, because you are going out to get stuff that you did not plan for, stuff that you did not necessarily need for that matter. Because if it was not in your budget, it may imply that it's not an item that you needed.
Jimmy, that's such great advice. Our last question for today. Savings is critical in achieving financial resilience, but with so many South Africans either unemployed or living hand to mouth, how's this even achievable?
Indeed, we have just come off Savings Month in July. And then it is also a known fact that most of us South Africans don't necessarily save as well as we ought to. However, we, as the National Credit Regulator, we want to encourage viewers of SABC to get into the habit of saving. It is not easy. People will say we have tightened the belt enough. There is no longer room for tightening the belt. Difficult as our economy may be, consumers should still and find space to make room for some element of saving. Some consumers find it difficult to save because sometimes the formula that we're using is wrong. When we get paid or when we get our income, we first spend on other things, pay for this and that, buy this and that, and at the end of the day try to look if there's something that is left for us to save. However, if we can revise the formula and pay ourselves first when we get paid, meaning put something on the side first. Upon getting your wages or your salary, then you spend what is left after you have saved. That will give room, certainly, for all consumers and all viewers of SABC to be able to put something away for a rainy day. Because if we don't save, we run the risk of having to run to credit providers and worse, to unregistered credit providers should we find ourselves in an emergency situation. And then this can easily lead to a debt trap and a cycle of over-indebtedness.
Jimmy, that's really great advice. Thank you for that. That was Jimmy Golele, Senior Education and Communication Officer at the NCR.